We'll make this a rapid succession here. As you all can see, my name's Jack Hawley. I'm the program manager for the residential program for Southern California Regional Energy Network, or the SoCalREN. I've been doing this for roughly about 5 years in this space, but about 3 years on the multifamily side, um, and been enjoying it. So we mainly predominantly focus with contractors, but also property owners, as well as from time to time with tenants, even HOAs are organizations like that. So it's a diversity of groups that we do communicate with, but predominantly it's building owners that we will work with to figure out how can we provide energy efficiency upgrades. And I'll leave it to Laura to introduce herself.
Thanks, Jack, and good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Castillo. I'm one of the account managers, boots on the ground. If you call, I'll be one of the folks to answer. We, as Jack mentioned, work with contractors, property owners, management groups. We are an equity-centric program, and so we do go to several parts of Southern California and hard-to-reach areas. I have a public health background. I've been in the multifamily space for about 3 years, but the program itself has been around for over 10 years. So I do want to reassure you of the longevity of the program going on strong. Let's go ahead and talk about areas that we cover, eligibility. Let's get into the details.
Yeah, I think we could do next slide here. So just to kind of cover, I know we're talking about WeHo today, but we did want to kind of give a brief high-level overview of like what territory SoCalREN does cover. The multifamily program does cover all the way up to like Mono, Inyo, so all the way up to like Southern Sierra Nevadas, down to like San Bernardino, Riverside, Imperial. We cover LA County, we cover OC as well, and even parts of Southern Valley. So Kern, Kings, Tulare, um, Ventura. We cover a diversity of counties, basically any place that is SoCal Edison, SoCal Gas, utilities, we can help provide some sort of rebate or our offerings to a multifamily property. The reason why to go with SoCalREN as well is, we can do things like help lower properties utility bills, hopefully improve tenant comfort. We have certain measures that we'll cover a little bit later, like HVAC that we can help upgrade. Also trying to decrease upfront costs. We know it's expensive to try to also do energy efficiency or buying the equipment for that. So hopefully we can help with um, lowering those costs of actually doing replacement. And then we also provide basically no cost consulting, as well as admin engineering support when trying to explore different energy efficiency options. Um, so you'll also connect to SoCalREN Learning Center as well as ICF Network. That's actually the group we're a part of, to get more resources from us on how to upgrade your multifamily property. And we also have many, many other levels of support like co-branding materials, marketing materials and support that we can lend to properties.
I'll take us into eligibility. I think we have like 2 minutes left. Goes by really quick. All right. So what are we going to ask? We're going to get a copy of your bills. Just the most recent copy, SoCal Gas and the California Edison. We need to ensure that they go through a verification process because we're a ratepayer program. So what that means is that folks have to pay into the public purpose surcharge charge because we get our funding from the California Public Utility Commission. So you have to make sure that that fee is being paid and also that no upgrades have taken place at this multifamily for the past 5 years for the same upgrades that the multifamily is seeking to get rebates from us in the current year. The CPUC kind of considers that double dipping if there is upgrades that are being pursued that are like not over 5 years old. And so we'll take a look at that. And then we also have to ensure that there are some minimum number of measures for your project. If you're upgrading common area equipment, we need to upgrade at least two equipment. As an example, say you do like your water heaters, pipe insulation, that's a nice little bundle. If there are any in-unit upgrades, we need to ensure that there are at least three upgrades being pursued. And we do not cover 100% of the installation costs. We have capped thresholds. The most that we can cover for sites in disadvantaged communities is 75%, whereas for non-disadvantaged communities is up to 60%. So as an example, we'll cover 60, 40% is out of pocket. And that 40% can go through, as an example, SoCalGas on-bill financing. Incentive structure, just to kind of give you like an idea of how the energy savings when cumulatively applied towards the applicable community rate, if it's disadvantaged or not, what that looks like. But the big takeaway here is the most that we'll cover is 60% or 75%, utilizing the CalEd virus screening tool. It's a public facing website. We'll put in the full address and it'll let us know disadvantaged community or not. Back to you, Jack.
Yeah, and so there's a few measures that we help cover, and what mean by measures is types of energy efficiency equipments. So we have two different pathways. We have a deemed measures, custom measures. On this list, deemed means we require a little bit less documentation, fewer bills, fewer documents. It's a little bit easier in terms of calculations on our side, while custom does require and is eligible, it just requires a little bit more calculations, creating a model, as well as more utility bills to look at long-term savings. So that is just something to keep in mind is that we can do all these types of measures, but we just have to assess like what's right for your property, see if they're eligible. As Laura mentioned before, first best step is always receiving utility bills so we can double check whether the property is eligible. Then I
Um,
think
yeah.
next one we have here is the stages of how our rebate is processed. I know we're running up against time, but basically we have first five steps in terms of how do you get from starting to a rebate. First, you'll connect with account manager, so that'll be Laura, myself, and submit, as we mentioned before, the property utility bill. So SoCal and SoCal gas bills, sign a property owner agreement. That's just the terms and conditions form that we require, just so you understand the rules of the program. And then a few influence questionnaires. So a few questions on how do you use the program, why you decide to do energy efficiency. And then from there, we would do intake form, which is basically audit, just understanding what do you have. And we would provide something called incentive calculator, which is step three. That just tells you what would we provide in the form of rebate. After that looks good, or if you have questions on it, we revise it, and then we would also get assigned scope of work with a contractor, as well as spec sheets and other documentation. Once that's all signed and installation happens, then we would have a signed scope of work. We would provide a reservation layer that would let you then proceed to construction. After construction's done, some closeout documentation, and once we receive all the closeout docs, you receive the either the property can or the contractor can receive the check, but it's always up to the property. They always have a final say of where it goes, and we have documentation to help with that too. So
Wow.
that's kind of
Yeah.
like straight and narrow of
Yeah,
how
that
to
was
go through the
super,
process.
super helpful. Even though there might be more slides if not, I think that's a good stopping point, and we can probably take a couple questions as we hand it off to the next person. Um, but I'll just see if there's any reactions, questions. I think that this is a fantastic program. I mean, so in West Hollywood, there's I'll tell you that the cap will be 60%. I know the census tract stuff, so the 60% up to,
Mhm.
which is huge. Like 60% off of a project, especially as Jake was showing, buildings get old over time. If you need stuff at your building and you can offset 60% of that cost, then this is perfect. And then you can leverage a lot of the process to meet the other requirements of the local West Hollywood program, and they guide you through the selection process. It's a really altruistic program. These things are run by local government. It's not some contractor trying to do additional things. But anyways, more on that. You have two inside contacts now. If there's a question, feel free to come off. Monica, I know you're taking notes. I don't know if there's something on the tip of your tongue. That's the beauty of video here.
No, no, I'm we represent, I think there's three of us, Cheryl Roddy, Monica Inessa, myself, and
Yeah.
Joel Reed. We're all from 906 Doheny. We're a condominium. Um, we just got the news right now that the policy will just focus on common area, because that was a big worry for us. We thought, how are we going to keep track
Yeah.
of 66 individual condo units? But that being said, I mean, we do have projects underway in common areas that we might be able to utilize.
Yeah.
For example, we're looking at better efficiency for our common area laundry. We're looking at better efficiencies for our windows adjacent to the laundry areas, or the windows in the laundry rooms. And we are also looking to, gosh, what else? Jump in, Cheryl or Joel, if I
Yeah.
miss a current project that I'm thinking, well, we might be able to utilize some of these resources with
Yeah.
some of the common area projects that we
Well,
are now planning.
if you think that's great, I mean, we have a couple more. Do you mind if we kind of get through the rest and we can kind
Sure.
of see which is the best fit? But I mean, that's really good news. Jack and team, feel free to drop your stuff in. Like, there's no penalty for starting early or doing the stuff now while you have the folks. So if there's something that you're doing now, you have Jack and Laura. Let's move on to the U.S. Green Building Council. Michael, if there's a way that you can kind of get through a couple of these, is just like the high points. But I guarantee we're going to have time after this, and we can dedicate some time afterwards to follow up. But I'm really glad that's a welcome change to the ordinance, and we can also help you obtain all that data without violating like privacy, so that you know the overall impact of that, so you could really do your full cost benefit analysis. As I'm sure a lot of you are on the HOA board, financially savvy, we can help you get the whole picture. But Michael, do you want to jump in here and give us the high points, and
Hey,
we'll keep it
Mark.
moving?
Mark, before you dive on and move forward, I
Yeah.
represent La Fontaine, the corner of Crescent
Oh
Heights,
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and we're putting a new roof on the building right now. And we've done what we can at this point for energy efficiency, but there are a lot of other things we can do with insulation, for example, just in the attic space,
Yeah.
the installation of better and more energy efficient fans, right, to
Uh-huh.
extract heat from that space. It's a really cavernous attic
Yeah.
space. Um, and you said that we wouldn't be penalized if we move forward with that now.
Oh no, no, not at
For
all.
sure.
Yeah, no, you would.
So I can actually start this process with any of the resources that you're making known to us right
Yeah,
now. Okay,
it just
great.
wouldn't be a bad idea to give Christine a ping and
Okay.
us,
I'm
and
here.
just,
You're good.
yeah,
Well,
you're good. Because there's some nuance, there are some nuances, like, and different tactics on how to tackle that stuff, because you can have all the insulation in the world, and if it's not airtight, then it's like
yeah,
not as effective. So I mean, I'd be glad
yeah.
to jump on a call with you and kind of just do the philosophy of the approach.
Okay,
But these folks that are on, including Michael, can really shepherd you through this. So I'm going to get to him.
very
You
good.
got contact info right there. Feel free to start dialing. Michael, you want to keep us
Yeah,
moving? And I really appreciate the questions. I know there's going to be plenty of time for those, but we have a limited time with these guests, so I want to make sure that they get a time. Okay, Michael, do you want to go for it?
yeah. And I will be quick. My name is Michael Rockmus. I'm the Policy and Advocacy Coordinator at U.S. Green Building Council, California. And we're an independent nonprofit in California, with the mission of transforming California through the built environment into a more sustainable, resilient, and equitable place for all. And we're really all about people. We do a lot of training, networking, and thought leadership meetings. We are a membership-based organization, so anybody interested in sustainable buildings in California is welcome to join our organization. One of the projects that I've been working on is a building performance standard hub that we're building. And so the building performance hub is going to have resources to help building owners, contractors, residents understand and comply with building performance standards. It will include resources to support benchmarking, like the energy reporting that we saw the training on earlier, as well as retrofit projects. Right now, it's still being built and it's going to launch this fall. And so getting a sneak peek here. And most of the tools I think will be available for free. Some may be limited availability. That's the details on that are still being worked out. Um, so I just want to highlight a few things here. Sorry, hopefully will, yeah. So the building performance calculator. So this will allow you to compare your building's energy use to the targets in the BPS. So we have version 1 doesn't have in cities like West Hollywood yet, but that's coming later this year. So you'll be able to put in your benchmarking information and then see where you compare to the target. The next is green financing resources. So our tool will allow you to find financial support for retrofit projects. So, incentive programs like SoCalREN was talking about, as well as opportunities to get loans, things like that. And then trainings and a help desk. So our launching this year, the trainings will help you understand building performance standards, retrofit options to improve building performance, and much more. I also want to talk about one of the programs we have is called Green Homes California. And this is a grant-funded program. We have we do owner engagement as well as resident engagement. We have a lot of resources on our website, and where we have funding for it, we do some direct install programs as well. Some of the digital tools that are available now that I want to highlight, there's a home electrification planner that could be great for residents, occupant health toolkit, which is also very useful for residents and probably all you condo members as well. And we have the last one is a interactive tool to compare different retrofit options. And I can share the links to these.
Great.
There's one more program that I really wanted to. Oh, sorry, this. I'm like only on one screen.
So you have an EV
So
charger program, right? I think we get the point. You'll be all right.
yeah, let me just, sorry, go to
Yeah, hit the
slideshow mode.
slideshow.
But just briefly, what this is it's a program that will allow no cost installation and maintenance of EV charging for large multifamily buildings for 10 years. And so this is a really great program. And it's they even cover the electricity usage of these chargers. It's in terms of eligibility, it's multifamily properties with 50 units or more. There are giving preference to disadvantaged communities and also properties that have enclosed secure parking. But it's not a first come first serve program. So you can apply now, and then they're going to review the different applicants and what's feasible, and then do it. So we're promoting this. It's a countywide program, and we're promoting it in partnership with Green Wealth Energy. And so I can put the link in for this as well. And like I said, it's open now for applications.
Yeah, this is the first I've heard of this one, and like I get goosebumps because free charging and electricity and the thing. And then just folks keep in mind that the way that we also structure the ordinance is that you don't get penalized for using more electricity if it's for electric vehicles. Like that's a good thing overall for the carbon. And then also, gas at the pump, those prices are going up. And I do all the regulations around it. It's seriously going up and a high chance of it going up very sharply. And then also on the natural gas, now they officially at the state call it fossil gas. I mean, that's right. There's nothing natural about natural gas, to be honest. They put benzene and stuff in it. And those prices are going up very quickly. It's about $2 a therm. It's about to go to maybe between $4 and $6 a therm by 2035. And there's forecasts on paper from the Energy Commission that it could go 46 to $100, depending on which direction some of these policies go. So I would just say really think twice before you install natural gas, just from the economics standpoint. You will save money most of the time today, but then combine that with taking 60% off the project cost and then double that up with the free electric vehicle charging. Like your HOAs, your tenants, everybody's gonna kind of love it. And that's a good thing about this program is that we're trying to guide people to make decisions that help, as opposed to kind of sticks. It's more carrots. So, in the interest of the other speaker's time, I do want to respect that. Maybe we can get through the next one and then open up a couple questions. Michael, if you're all right with that. I know you might have to bounce,
I
but
need to, yeah, I'm supposed to jump to one of the other breakout rooms. But what
let's
I can
try
do
and
is,
drop your contact info. We're going to come back for 15 minutes at the end, and maybe we can get the questions there.
yeah, okay,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Perfect, perfect. And then I know AEA, Association for Portable Energy, also has really good programs. And then we have Clean Power Alliance. So maybe we can hit those real quick because we need to kind of cover the gamut of the solar stuff and the low income weatherization. And then the Clean Power Line and switches on. So let's yeah. So AEA, do you want to go for it?
Yeah, I will try to talk fast so we
You'll
can
be all
give
right. Yeah.
others time. Um, let's see here. I was hoping that I could get my speaker's notes so I don't forget things, but whatever. We'll go off the cuff here.
Yeah. That works.
Cool. Well, my name is Brianna Sparling. I am a senior project associate at the Association for Energy Affordability, also known as AEA. AEA is a leader in California in the energy efficiency and electrification space. We run a gamut of programs statewide in a bunch of different regions that focus on tenant education, benchmarking work, technical assistance, so on and so forth. In a presentation like this, I also like to mention that AEA loves heat pumps. We're big fans of heat pump tech. So we get told often at conferences and such that we quote unquote installed the most heat pump water heating projects. So if you are in for some heat pump tech, I would say you're in the right place to come learn about AEA's programs. This is a non-exhaustive list, but probably the most relevant programs to you guys. So I'm going to talk very briefly about all three of these, and please feel free to follow up with me by email if you have questions on any of them. Most of our programs are primarily centered and focused on helping low-income communities. So I'll start with LIWIP up here. Stands for the Low Income Weatherization Program. We essentially incentivize any measure that is going to save greenhouse gases. So if you have an idea of something you want to save energy on, come try to see if you can get into LIWIP. We would love to work with you. And then we also do PV as well as a secondary part of the LIWIP program. So can hit a twofer there. You can circle back on any questions, but moving on to SOMA quickly. SOMA is a solar program. Any project in a deed restricted area with an affordability covenant and has 5 or more units is going to be eligible for this program. We incentivize VNEM systems, meaning systems that benefit both the tenants and the owner. So really great substantial incentives available for SOMA that offset both tenant and owner bills. So highly recommend that as well. I would recommend taking a screenshot of this slide maybe if you want all the contact
And
info.
the big one, I mean, the Tech Clean California. I mean, I think a lot of folks here are gonna eventually have a water heater conk out or space heating conk out. So what's that one about?
Yeah, exactly. So tech is, you hit the nail on the head there. Tech is focused on incentivizing work through like more innovative technologies. So primarily heat pump, water heating, heat pump, HVAC, some induction cooking, that sort of thing. Um, I will note with tech right now, there is not a funding round available at this exact moment. We are anticipating a third round of tech funding to become available later this year. So keep your eye out for that. I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure what it's going to look
So
like
that's
just
great.
yet.
Some,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, some of the single family have opened up, and then I would just say drop your contact info and the website because you can't like screen grab this. So if you can paste this
Okay. Yeah,
the clean text
absolutely.
in the chat, we're gonna move on to CPA and then switches on because we only have five
Okay.
minutes. It's literally gonna shut down. I would
Okay.
say if you're one of your HOA boards for the folks on the call, get on that, put your email in the news thing so that as soon as those funds come available, you can get to the front of the line and get those because those are like the hottest ticket out there. They're really generous incentives. And it could be in unit, it could be the common. There's a ton of data on the website, which the switches on has that stuff too. So you could really size up what are the real costs for this. It's not like some guess.
Yeah. Can I make
CP,
one quick note,
of
Mark,
course.
which is just that we play really well with others and love to stack programs. I could send you guys my slide deck, but my example program or project that we recently completed actually down here, we co-leveraged with SoCalREN. So Jack's program that he just highlighted here, 4 programs in total. So if you want to get a lot of bang for your buck, we
Yeah.
love to work with others. So that's all I have
Yeah.
to say.
We're trying to shovel this money out the door. The state is. I mean, because it's there for a reason. Chico, you want to hit it real quick, and then I want to. The switches on has a really good comprehensive. We can put a bow around it. But Chico, do you want to give your quick hits?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, and we do have. It's going to be 3 minutes, and it will literally shut down. So just a heads up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say real quick. So, speaking of working well with others, this is a one-stop energy team is a one-stop shop for folks who want to get information on electrification upgrades for their home apartment building. If you're an owner, this is kind of the program for you because you're going to have the most ability to make these kinds of decisions in a multifamily unit, large apartment building, or single family home. So what do we do? Well, first of all, you have to be a CPA customer, and you can call and we can verify that. And who is CPA? We are an electricity provider in West Hollywood. We provide electricity to the majority of people in West Hollywood and at mostly 100% renewable power. So any conversion to electricity is going to see a lot of benefit. We have a website. We have a call, chat, and email function. So if you have any kind of question, you can reach us in any way. We have online calculators where you can estimate the value of heat pumps, putting solar on your home, or buying an EV, or installing EV charging. And then our sort of primary service here is that we do a virtual energy assessment. So you can walk through your home with your cell phone, take pictures of your electrical panel, of your water heater, and we can help you size the correct replacement. A lot of this ends up being at time of replacement. So like if it breaks down, you need to get it done fast, take a picture, send it to us, and we can help you find that unit. And then we also point folks to the switches on for more information on rebates and contract finding. Our advisors have a lot of that information on SoCalREN's rebates, on tech, and all those things. So they can help you stack them and really put it all together in one package so you can get the maximum amount of money back.
Awesome.
Stop there because that's as much as we
That,
have.
that's perfect. And, I think that the switches on is so relevant. We've kind of done some quarterbacking behind the scenes, and we're going to do the switches on in the main room. So if you're okay with that, Tammy, we can have you give that to everybody. But I will say, I think Chico's like, and the Clean Power Alliance is the steering the ship. And maybe that's the first point of contact. And then you can kind of direct people towards all the Jack's program, Laura's program, and then Brianna and really stack these up. And I think that would be, a really good thing for folks. And just again, really looking at that longer term thing. And then also having these programs, we've designed this to be flexible where some of the analysis, we're really trying hard to see if that will check the box for some of the analysis. And if there's other things we can dovetail to truly make it easy for you and then encourage people at the end of the day to have the best information and make the best decisions. that ultimately save you money. I mean, that's the goal. We're not trying to, do stuff that's gonna not save you money. I mean, that's kind of the point where the industry is with energy. And maybe I'll talk out the last like 30 seconds until it forces us into the main room here. But that was the philosophy behind this, is that I think all of us, we've had input from all these speakers today, a lot of community feedback. And the thing was to just really make an ordinance that's flexible, that works for people, that accommodates things, that integrates your feedback. And hopefully, if you have others that are on other HOA boards, your neighbors or friends within the community, tell them like, hey, this thing is actually going to help you and it's going to provide a lot of resources. So hopefully this is kind of turning into a very wanted, needed thing.